Welcome to Stamps Old World UK, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of philately, uncovering the history, value, and beauty of stamps from across the globe. In today's video, we'll be exploring a subject that captivates stamp enthusiasts, collectors, and investors alike: the market value of stamps today, particularly focusing on the rare and iconic stamps of the UK, and how you can understand and evaluate their worth in today's market. Whether you're an experienced collector or just beginning your journey in the world of philately, this video will give you valuable insights into the current stamp market trends and help you assess the value of your stamps, all in dollar terms. Let's start by discussing what factors determine the market value of stamps. The value of a stamp isn't simply based on its face value, like the 4D blue stamp from the UK we see here, featuring the image of Queen Elizabeth II. It is often a combination of rarity, condition, historical significance, and demand within the stamp collecting community. Rarity is one of the most significant factors in determining a stamp's value. A stamp that was issued in limited quantities or one that was discontinued after a brief period is typically worth more than a stamp that was mass-produced over a long period of time. Now let's talk about condition. The condition of a stamp is essential when evaluating its worth. Collectors are always looking for stamps in pristine condition, with no damage, creases, or fading. Stamps with errors, like misprints or perforation issues, can also have a significant value and in some cases can fetch higher prices than perfectly printed stamps. A stamp's grading is typically based on the quality of its printing, its perforations, and whether it has any flaws. The higher the grade, the higher the price you can expect to receive in today's market. We also can't overlook the importance of historical significance. Stamps that have played a role in historical events, such as commemorating a major milestone or a significant moment in time, tend to hold more value. For example, the British stamps issued in the early 20th century, such as the first stamps featuring the portrait of King George V, are considered highly valuable because of the history they represent. The UK is home to many famous stamps, like the penny black, which was the world's first adhesive postage stamp and is highly sought after by collectors. In today's market, stamps from the UK hold significant value, and some of the rarest stamps can fetch thousands or even millions of dollars depending on their rarity and condition. The 1D black, for example, has been sold at auction for over £100,000, with some of the rarer specimens being worth even more. The blue 4D stamp, like the one we featured at the start of this video, while not as high in value as some other iconic stamps, still commands a respectable price in the collector's market. Depending on its condition and rarity, it can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to hundreds of dollars. So it's clear that even more common stamps can be valuable if they're well preserved or have unique features that set them apart from others. So what are the current trends in the stamp market, and what can you expect when it comes to buying and selling stamps today? The market for stamps has seen a shift in recent years, with the rise of online auctions and stamp marketplaces. This has made it easier for collectors and investors to buy and sell stamps globally. The advent of digital platforms has also brought a new generation of collectors into the hobby, many of whom are eager to acquire rare and unique stamps. Today you'll find a growing demand for vintage stamps, with certain niche categories such as misprints, rare varieties, and error stamps commanding particularly high prices. With the rise of stamp auction sites like eBay, collectors now have the opportunity to purchase stamps from all over the world, including rare stamps from the UK at competitive prices. However, it's essential to be cautious when buying and selling stamps online, as there are always risks involved. One tip is to always research the seller and ensure they have a good reputation. Be wary of stamps that are priced too low, as this could indicate that they are not genuine or in poor condition. It's always a good idea to get your stamps authenticated by a professional before making any significant purchases. As of today, many of the most valuable stamps on the market are those that are rarer or have historical significance. For example, the 1935 Silver Jubilee stamp, issued to commemorate the 25th anniversary of King George V's reign, is a highly sought-after stamp. Depending on its condition, this stamp can fetch anywhere from $50 to over $200 in today's market. Other stamps, like the 1966 World Cup commemorative stamp, which celebrates England's victory in the FIFA World Cup,
also hold value, particularly if they are in mint condition. In terms of rare and iconic stamps, we can also look at the Queen Elizabeth II stamps. Since her image appeared on British stamps in 1952, stamps featuring her portrait have remained popular. These stamps are a staple of British philately, and while they may not reach the same astronomical prices as the penny black, they are still highly collectible. Over time, many collectors have focused on building complete sets of Queen Elizabeth II stamps, and these can also be quite valuable, especially if they have errors, like printing mistakes or rare cancellations. The market for modern stamps is another area to keep an eye on. Though it may seem that only vintage stamps are valuable, there is also a significant market for modern stamps, especially those that are limited edition or released for special events. Some of these modern stamps can become highly collectible over time, with their value increasing as they age. If you are new to collecting, it might be a good idea to invest in limited edition stamps and rare issues that are only available for a short period. These types of stamps may not command as much value right away, but they have the potential to appreciate in value as time goes on. So now that you have a better understanding of the factors that determine the value of stamps and the current trends in the market, let's talk about how you can get started with collecting and investing in stamps. If you're just starting out, it's essential to educate yourself about the different types of stamps, their history, and what makes them valuable. There are many resources available online, from stamp catalogs to forums where collectors share tips and advice. Joining a local stamp club or society is also a great way to meet other collectors and learn more about the hobby. When it comes to buying stamps, always ensure that you are getting them from a reputable source. If you are purchasing rare stamps or high-value items, it's essential to have them certified and graded by a professional stamp dealer or philatelist. This will help ensure that you are paying a fair price for your stamps and that they are genuine. To wrap up, the world of stamps is vast, with so many different areas to explore and collect. Whether you're interested in rare British stamps, commemorative issues, or modern releases, there's a stamp for every collector. The value of stamps in today's market can vary widely, with some stamps worth just a few dollars, while others can fetch thousands or even millions of dollars. So whether you're looking to invest in stamps or simply want to enjoy the hobby of collecting, the key is to research, educate yourself, and always be on the lookout for new and exciting stamps to add to your collection.
Next up, the iconic 1953 Australian Coronation stamp featuring Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This stamp, which was issued to commemorate the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors worldwide, and in this video we'll explore its market value, history, and significance, especially when it comes with the much-coveted mint mark. The stamp we're focusing on today is the 2.5 penny Australian Coronation stamp, first issued in 1953. It commemorates the momentous occasion of Queen Elizabeth II's ascension to the throne following the death of her father, King George VI. The design features a portrait of the young Queen Elizabeth II in her coronation attire, with the words "Coronation of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II" and the date of her coronation, 2 June 1953. It's a beautiful example of mid-20th century stamp design, with the crown at the top symbolizing her royal lineage. The first and most important factor when considering the value of this stamp is its rarity. While this particular stamp was issued in large quantities, its significance has only grown over the years. The 1953 Australian Coronation stamp is highly sought after by collectors, especially those who focus on royal-related philatelic material. Given that this stamp was issued to mark the crowning of one of the longest reigning monarchs in British history, it has an enduring appeal among collectors of British Commonwealth stamps. When we discuss the value of this stamp, we must also mention its condition. In the world of stamp collecting, the term mint is often used to refer to a stamp in its original, unused condition, with no signs of wear, creases, or cancellations. The mint version of this stamp, particularly one with a pristine perforation and no discoloration, is considered to be the most valuable. Stamps in mint condition with no postmark or damage can often sell for much higher prices than those that have been used or have been exposed to the elements. The stamp is also known for its distinctive mint mark, a mark placed on the stamp sheet that indicates the source or the print run. Mint stamps that still have their original gum intact, meaning the adhesive on the back has never been disturbed, are the most valuable.
A well-preserved, mint-condition 1953 Australian Coronation stamp with a clean and clear mint mark can fetch a higher price on the market than a used or damaged stamp. In general, a stamp in this condition may be worth anywhere from $2 to $20 or more, depending on its quality and the demand at the time. The specific value of this mint mark stamp will depend largely on several factors. For example, collectors highly value stamps with low print runs or errors, and the mint mark could potentially indicate a rare print run or error. As the stamp has been around for over 6 decades now, those that are still in pristine condition are becoming increasingly rare. The demand for such a stamp can fluctuate over time based on interest in royal memorabilia as well as the ongoing interest in Queen Elizabeth II as a historical figure. When it comes to the market today, it's important to understand that the stamp market is influenced by a number of factors. These can include the general economic climate, the popularity of stamp collecting at any given time, and the level of interest in specific types of stamps. The mint version of this stamp, particularly if it's in a near-perfect state, will likely continue to rise in value, especially given the global reverence for Queen Elizabeth II and her enduring legacy. To determine the exact value of your 1953 Australian Coronation stamp with a mint mark, it's essential to consider the stamp's condition first. A perfectly mint, unused stamp will always command the highest prices on the market, but even stamps that are in good condition without significant flaws can still hold notable value. In terms of the market trends for stamps like the 1953 Australian Coronation issue, it's clear that stamps commemorating major historical events, especially those linked to royalty, continue to see strong demand. Not only do these stamps appeal to traditional collectors, but they are also highly valued by investors who view them as tangible assets that may appreciate over time. Today, in particular, stamps tied to Queen Elizabeth II are particularly prized, given her legacy and her status as the longest-reigning British monarch in history. Whether you are collecting them for historical purposes or looking to invest in them for potential financial growth, the 1953 Australian Coronation stamp remains a key piece of philatelic history. In fact, many collectors continue to seek this stamp to complete their collections of Commonwealth issues from the period. The global stamp market has experienced significant changes over the years. With the rise of online marketplaces and auction platforms like eBay, collecting and selling stamps has become more accessible than ever before. If you are looking to sell or purchase a 1953 Australian Coronation stamp, consider using reputable auction houses or online platforms that specialize in rare stamps. The convenience of these platforms means that stamps can now be easily bought, sold, and valued by collectors from all over the world. As we've discussed, the presence of a mint mark can significantly affect the value of this stamp. Mint mark stamps are generally seen as being more pristine and valuable, and some collectors may pay a premium for these versions. If your stamp has a mint mark and is in excellent condition, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded. Stamp grading is done by a number of reputable organizations, and it helps determine the stamp's value and authenticity. This will give you a better idea of the price range you can expect to achieve if you choose to sell your stamp. For those of you who are new to the world of philately, and especially if you are interested in the stamps of Queen Elizabeth and the British Commonwealth, the 1953 Australian Coronation stamp is an excellent place to start. It offers a glimpse into a significant moment in history, and owning one, especially in mint condition with a mint mark, can make you feel connected to the past while being a valuable asset in your collection. To sum up, the 1953 Australian Coronation stamp is a highly collectible and valuable piece of philatelic history. Its significance, its connection to Queen Elizabeth II's coronation, and its status as part of Australia's heritage make it a sought-after item for collectors around the world. Whether you are purchasing one to add to your collection or planning to sell a mint-condition copy with a mint mark, it is clear that this stamp holds both historical and financial value. As the stamp market continues to evolve, the 1953 Australian Coronation stamp remains a timeless piece, cherished by philatelists and investors alike.
Next up, the 1953 Australian Coronation stamp, this time in the 3.5D denomination. Much like the 2.5D version we discussed earlier, this stamp commemorates the historic coronation of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, but with a slightly different value and a distinct color design. If you're a collector of royal stamps or interested in learning more about their market value, this video will give you a deep dive into the specifics of this stamp and what it means for collectors today, especially when it comes with a mint mark. The 3.5D Australian Coronation stamp was issued in 1953, along with the other denominations of stamps celebrating Queen Elizabeth II's coronation. The design features a portrait of the young Queen Elizabeth II in her regal coronation attire, surrounded by a glowing crown and the inscription, "Coronation of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II," along with the date of her coronation, 2 June 1953. The 3.5D value was part of a series of stamps issued across Australia in honor of this monumental event. While the design remains similar to the 2.5D version, this stamp features a different color, a bright and vibrant red, which makes it stand out as part of the commemorative series. When it comes to assessing the market value of this stamp, it's important to consider a number of factors that influence how much collectors are willing to pay. The rarity of the stamp is one of the most critical components in determining its value. As with all stamps, rarer versions, such as those in mint condition or with limited print runs, will naturally be worth more. The 3.5D stamp, while not as scarce as some of the higher-value commemorative stamps from the same issue, still holds significant appeal due to its historical importance and the popularity of Queen Elizabeth II memorabilia. As we move into the discussion of value, we need to talk about the condition of the stamp. Stamps in mint condition, meaning they have never been used with no cancellations or signs of wear, are considered the most valuable. For collectors, a mint condition stamp is always preferable. It means the stamp has been kept in perfect condition, typically stored away in a protective album or sheet, and has not been exposed to the elements. The 3.5D Australian Coronation stamp, when found in mint condition, will usually fetch a higher price than stamps that have been used or damaged over time. One of the key factors in determining the value of this particular stamp is the presence of a mint mark. For those of you who are new to the world of philately, a mint mark is a small mark or symbol found on the stamp sheet that indicates where and how the stamp was printed. Some collectors place a high premium on stamps that feature a distinct mint mark, as these stamps are considered to be in a purer state, often with unaltered gum on the back and a pristine perforation. A stamp with a mint mark shows that it was originally produced and has not been tampered with or reconditioned, making it more valuable in the eyes of collectors. If your 3.5D Australian Coronation stamp includes the mint mark and is in excellent condition, you can expect it to be worth significantly more than stamps that have been used, even if those used stamps are in good shape. The mint mark, along with the perfect gum on the back and clear perforations, signals to collectors that this stamp is in its original, untouched state. While the exact value can vary depending on the current market and demand, a well-preserved, mint-condition stamp with a mint mark can be worth anywhere from $10 to $30, or even more in certain cases where the stamp is in pristine condition. Now, let's talk about trends in the market for stamps like this one. Over the years, royal commemorative stamps, especially those associated with Queen Elizabeth II, have remained incredibly popular among collectors. As the Queen is one of the most recognizable monarchs in modern history, her image on stamps has maintained a strong following. Stamps from her reign, especially those commemorating her coronation in 1953, continued to be in demand, and their value tends to appreciate over time, particularly if the stamp is in excellent condition or has unique features, like a mint mark. Stamps that commemorate major events, such as the coronation of a monarch, are often sought after not only by collectors of stamps, but also by those who collect royal memorabilia. The combination of historical significance and rarity makes these stamps even more valuable. In the case of the 3.5D Australian Coronation stamp, as time passes, its value may continue to rise as collectors seek to complete their collections of Australian stamps from this era. This makes it an excellent investment for collectors who are looking for stamps that are both historically important and likely to appreciate in value. Additionally, the stamp market has evolved significantly in recent years. The growth of online stamp auctions and e-commerce platforms like eBay has made it easier for collectors to buy, sell, and trade stamps globally. This has expanded the reach of the stamp market, meaning that collectors in different parts of the world are now able to access and bid on rare and valuable stamps. As more people enter the world of philately, the demand for valuable stamps, such as the 3.5D Australian Coronation stamp, continues to grow. For those looking to buy or sell this particular stamp, online auction platforms are a great way to see how much these stamps are selling for in today's market. However, it's always important to research the value of the stamp before making a purchase or sale. Consulting with reputable dealers, checking recent sales of similar stamps, and verifying the condition of the stamp can help you make informed decisions about buying or selling. Now, if you're interested in collecting the 3.5D Australian Coronation stamp, one tip is to try and focus on collecting different versions of the stamp from the Coronation series. Not only will this give you a broader understanding of Australian philatelics history, but it can also help you spot trends in the market and increase the value of your collection over time. Collecting stamps from the same issue can often lead to a more valuable and cohesive collection, as stamps from the same set are often more highly sought after when they come in a complete set. To conclude, the 3.5D Australian Coronation stamp, especially in mint condition with a mint mark, is a highly desirable and valuable stamp for collectors. Its historical significance, combined with its relatively low print run and the popularity of royal commemorative stamps, makes it a sought-after piece in the philatelic market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting to explore the world of stamps, this stamp is a great addition to any collection, especially if you're interested in Australian or British Commonwealth philately. And remember, the presence of a mint mark and excellent condition can significantly increase the value of the stamp, making it a worthwhile investment. Thank you for watching today's video on the 3.5D Australian Coronation stamp. We hope you found this content insightful and helpful for your collecting journey. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Stamps Old World UK for more videos about rare and iconic stamps, market trends, and tips for collectors. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll continue to explore more stamps from around the world and delve deeper into their value and historical importance. Happy collecting, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.